Let's preview Week 22 up next on Fantasy Baseball Today in 5. Welcome into FBT in 5 on Friday, August 16th. I am Frank Stampfl, joined by Scott White, and let's start things off with some two-start pitchers. What do we do with these guys? Mitch Keller is at the Rangers and home against the Reds.
Yeah, I think you're probably going to start him. As I said yesterday, I know his last two starts were awful. That's the cost of doing business with Mitch Keller, though. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if he had two awesome 7-inning starts this week, even though the matchups are suspect.
Tyler Anderson, is at the Royals and at the Blue Jays.
Probably going to start him, too. His last start wasn't great, but he got a lot of whiffs and has been getting a ton of those in general lately. So I actually feel better about the overall Tyler Anderson profile.
Tanner Houck, two tough matchups at the Astros, home against the D-backs.
Yeah, two tough matchups, and he's been trending the wrong direction with more walks in recent starts. But his last couple outings were pretty good, and if you want more starts in your lineup, I don't think you're going to find a lot of options that are better than Tanner Houck. So I have him in the probably going to start him category. Of course, it stands to reason if preserving ratios is your main priority in a categories league, then maybe you don't ask for the extra start from Houck. Maybe you don't ask for the extra start from Mitch Keller. I'm just talking about general circumstances.
Yusei Kikuchi also gets some tough matchups, home against the Red Sox and at the Orioles.
Lean towards starting him as well, though I have him ranked behind the other three.
Eric Fedde is home against the Brewers and at the Twins.
Yeah, probably just a points league option. He hasn't been as effective since joining the Cardinals.
What do you think about Twins prospect Zebby Matthews? He's at the Padres and home against the Cardinals.
Too big of a gamble for me coming off just one start.
And Gavin Stone gets two great matchups against the Mariners and the Rays.
Yeah, I just don't think Gavin Stone's very good, so I'm going to pass on him too.
Who are some two-star pitchers that you can look to add and stream for next week under 70% rostered?
Okay, so my favorite, and I hate to say it, but it's Kyle Harrison. Very skeptical of the overall profile, but he's had some good starts this year. Mainly, it's hard to pass up the White Sox and the Mariners as your two matchups. So he's top of the list. Shane Baz has been a little up and down coming back from Tommy John surgery, and one good matchup, Oakland, one bad matchup, the Dodgers. So probably just using him in points leagues if you're going to use him, but he's available. 69% rostered. Martin Perez has looked better since joining the Padres, mixing in more breaking balls. He gets the Twins and the Mets, so nothing special about the matchups. Again, that's probably more of a points league play. DJ Hurst gets the Rockies in Washington, and then he gets the Braves. So those are decent matchups. He's pitched well of late. Let's say Zach Littell here. Don't love it, but I need more names for my list. He gets those same matchups that Shane Baz has, Oakland and the Dodgers, so hopefully at least in points leagues he'll be of some use to you.
What about the single start streamers?
Single start streamers, these aren't much better. We have Jeffrey Springs at Oakland. Hopefully the improvement he showed with the changeup last start will continue. Jordan Montgomery at the Marlins. Hopefully the improvement he showed with the curveball last start will continue. Tobias Myers gets the Cardinals. And further down the list, Eduardo Rodriguez also against the Marlins.
What about the hitters? Best matchups for next week, the Cubs, Yankees, Blue Jays, Tigers, and Brewers. The worst hitter matchups, Dodgers, Phillies, Red Sox, Mets, and the Marlins. Scott, who are your sleeper hitters for Week 22?
So the sleeper hitter selection is more encouraging than the sleeper pitcher selection, which I guess is usually the case. My favorite is Brandon Lowe. He's been the fourth best second baseman in points leagues since June 1st, so I'm surprised he's even eligible for this list. The Rays have pretty good matchups this upcoming week and only one lefty on the schedule. The Tigers, you mentioned they have the fourth best matchups, also only one lefty on the schedule, so that benefits a guy like Kerry Carpenter, who looked good coming off the IL the other day. I also like Cole Keith with those matchups for the Tigers. The Cubs, you mentioned, have the best matchups. And they also have one lefty on the schedule, so it's a good time to play Michael Busch. The Diamondbacks matchups are pretty good, and no lefties on the schedule, which makes for a good occasion to start Jock Peterson. Always love him when there's a bunch of righties on the schedule. But even more than him from the Diamondbacks lineup, Josh Bell and Jake McCarthy, they're good hot hand plays right now. Joey Bart, you're probably only going to pick up a catcher if you actually need a catcher, but he's been productive lately. 4 lefties on the schedule for the Pirates, and against lefties this year, Joey Bart, .429 batting average, 1216 OPS. And then a few Blue Jays here with them having the third best matchups. Also, just one lefty on the schedule, Dalton Varsho, Spencer Horwitz. And if you want a really, really deep option, a kind of a bonus pick here with only one lefty on the schedule, recent call-up Will Wagner is available in 93% of CBS sports leagues.
All right, for more extensive fantasy baseball coverage, listen to the Fantasy Baseball Today podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, the Odyssey app, or anywhere else podcasts are found. Thanks for listening to Fantasy Baseball Today in 5, and we will be back again tomorrow. Bye-bye.